Good afternoon, Naomi.
How
What
are
time
you?
you at work?
Oh, what do you mean? I've been here. I've been good. Cowboy's leaving us next Saturday. He's going on vacation.
Oh, where's he going?
He's going back home.
Yeah, Sault Ste. Marie.
Ah, well, that's not bad. That's still somewhere. Yeah.
He's going to visit
I
his
think
family.
Cowboy has a desire to go to Italy, and I told him, go to Portugal.
Ah,
Portugal is one of the most friendliest places to come across, and the food and the people are so inviting.
oh,
So,
neat.
yeah. Yeah. Anyways, I'm actually in Paris right now.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, I took my granddaughter.
Oh,
When she was
right.
12. Yeah, when she was 12, I actually, she was mad because we didn't take her with us. And to Perry, I said, you're too young, baby. You can't come with us. And so it ended up being a little scrap before I left. So I made a promise to her. I said, okay, when you turn 16, I'll take you to Paris. So we've been planning this trip for 4 years now.
Oh, yeah.
So we're sitting in Paris, and then tomorrow we're going to go to Eiffel Tower, and she's going to go for a boat ride to the river.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to
Gondola ride.
the Versailles to the castle.
Right.
And we're going to go see the Louvre, I think it's called, where the Mona Lisa lays in her picture.
Yeah.
And so I was there before. I wasn't impressed.
I wasn't
Anyways,
impressed either. It's way smaller than I thought.
Yeah, it's a tiny little picture, But anyway, for an artist, it's one of the most famous paintings in the world, right?
It is.
So, but there is some massive paintings in there which are really stunning, which I don't get credit at all. So I'm looking forward to her seeing all that stuff
Yeah.
and having a chance to have her memories. And her promise I kept for her to be real. She'll be here now, and she's here with her friend Yaya, and from all the way from Ottawa. And she's
Nice.
actually Yaya's way works for us for many years now. And Yaya actually has to go back to Florida. She's one of those potential golf pros in the future.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, she can kick my butt. Trust me.
Well, I hope
yeah,
Martha enjoys her trip.
She will. But let's have some birthdays here. There's some special birthdays. There's a happy 100th birthday going out to Florence Sinclair,
Oh, wow.
Southeast Regional, celebrating her birthday today, Saturday, March 23rd. So happy 100th birthday, Florence Sinclair, coming from the president and the cabinet and the Métis, Red River Métis, right across, not just Manitoba, right across our homeland, right up to the Rocky Mountains and wherever they live. So again, it's such a proud day. I know Denise is very proud, and so is Sean, and so is Marielle. They're very proud. When you have people at 100 years old, there's so much to be thankful for that, and so much stories to be told, history to be shared. So already we sent a card and flowers and a gift to her. So again, kudos to you again one more time. 100th birthday to Florence Sinclair. We have another one that's chasing that. Happy 88th birthday going to Jean Daniello, that Debbie couple's mother.
Yes.
Yeah, so she's celebrating her birthday on Monday, March 25th. Again, cards were sent and a gift with Debbie to give her mom. Happy birthdays also go to Tanis Cuomo, the far region, celebrating her birthday. Doesn't say her age, but I tell you, she makes some of the best donuts, but cinnamon buns. Oh.
Yum.
And if Amanda's listening, you got a task there, Amanda. Tanis is famous for that. So, happy 16th birthday going to Liam Vincent. That's Tanya Vincent's son. We're celebrating her birthday on March 28th. So that's the birthdays I have on my list. Nobody else put anything in her, so I don't have to worry about saying I missed something. So anyways, but let me tell you, last week before I took off, I was actually missed. We got our flight canceled. I thought I was not going to even be late for this trip, and because we were in Ottawa, and you got to fly to Toronto to get to Ottawa now.
Right.
And so I had meetings with Jagmeet Singh. Jagmeet Singh, of course, is the leader of the NDP party. And we talked about our Métis treaty, and that's going to be coming in Parliament, hopefully the first week of April or the second week. Potentially, it's really the first week. And there'll be a chance for parliamentarians to look at it, talk about it, and vote on it as it moves forward in Parliament. Then it goes back, it'll go to Finance Committee, it'll go to Senate, also those bodies. And I had a chance to meet with the Honorable Raymond Gagné. She's a Speaker of the Senate. She's actually used to be a president of St. Boniface University.
Oh, wow.
So I had a good chat with Raymond, and she was she knows us very well. She knows the Métis. and she's not going to be confused with Ontario. And that's one of the things that really still upsets me, because we got these new people that are come stealing our identity, taking our flags, and you see them all over. And they also do that in the East Coast. There's a big fight going on right now in the Aino, which is the First Nation, the chief, and their people are taking the Aino is taking the Inuit claim of these individuals who used to at one time, Naomi, used to claim they were Métis for about 15, 20 years. And they couldn't win their hunting rights and everything, so they left that. Now they claim they're Inuit. And it's the Aino tribe, a tribe that's out there. And so they're being taken to court. So this identity theft is very, very serious. It's going to have a massive impact in the future. It's going to definitely cause effects and change to our young generation in the context of, when they're looking forward to finally getting their place to Confederation, their place for support, whether it's education or first-time home buyer program, things of that to give them the head start. Yeah. All of a sudden, you're going to have tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people coming in from the East who are going to try to lay claim to what our people have been waiting for hundreds of years to get to. And all of a sudden, here you are wondering what's going to happen to the children now that we talk about at home, our grandkids, our children, when you have a bunch of thieves that are coming to steal our identity. And they're stealing identity. There's not a question about it. Yeah. The Red River card comes from where, Naomi? Red River.
Red River, right.
Where does the Red River jig come from? Red River. So you start, where's the fiddle come from? Red River. All of our tunes come from there. So when you start looking at it, but they're carrying our beadwork, like we were once called the flower bead people. And I tell this on my show quite a bit because it is something that is very pressing and very dangerous. And so I keep on reminding our citizens, especially our young people, don't take it lightly. I know you could depend on your president or your cabinet to fight this fight, but at the end of the day, you're going to have to inherit some of this. So we got to make sure we stand firm. And we're also watching carefully how our people in the universities and education institutions are also being misguided sometimes by thinking, well, from mixed blood, a Métis. That does not make you Métis. So not Red River, I'll tell you that.
No.
And so from our side, they need to understand that. And unfortunately, some of the institutions are just prescribing the translation. Of course, Métis in French translation means mixed blood, Métis. So when you look at it that way, there's some very, very sharp people today in the country that are grabbing that mixed prescription, I guess, on the sense of that they're wrong. These people are misguided, but they're really selling themselves as somebody with mixed blood. And one that got me the most, I talked about it in cabinet, was when that gentleman, again, I made a mistake, another gentleman, when that pervert claimed child affected children, and when he all of a sudden said, I'm Métis because he wanted to get a lesser sentence, and he said, I have a great-great-grandfather somewhere that's First Nation. So then he said, that makes me Métis, so I'm entitled to the graduate decision and the right for me to have a linear sentence against me. So this is wrong. This is as the judge said, a tsunami is coming, and it's going to damn well cause such damage to our people and cause an effect that has a long impact where people are going to start stealing this whole process about looking at how we protect our identity when people are coming along and stealing it. So even now they're using it in crimes to say they're Indigenous so they can get a lesser charge where they're not. So it's a dangerous thing that's happening in Canada, and I hope the government takes it very seriously. I know my discussion with Jagmeet, of course, and you say Jagmeet Singh, and he says like saying Mr. Singh based in his culture. So I had a very good meeting with him. He I think, is starting to look at it. I think there's a lot more work he and I have to do, recognizing the Red River Métis and who the Métis are in Canada. So, but again, that's going to take some time and work. So we indicated for a second meeting for us to have another meeting. But I also invite him to our assembly. I said, you come see 4,000 Red River Métis and you do your homework, check who we are, find out who we are, find out what our passions are, find out what our culture is all about, find out our economic engine that we are very proud of. We're very strong, hard-working people. Find these out. He's going to come speak about it to my people. He said, there's 4,000 eyes going to be, 8,000 eyes going to be staring at you. There's 4,000 people there. So, but again, he actually asked for a date. We give him the date. But I'm going to meet him before that again to keep on briefing him about this whole issue, because I don't think sometimes, no disrespect to people that are not truly from here, their families come from different countries, they sometimes think that this has not been a problem here, that there's no issue about this. That because obviously Canada settled this issue or deals with it or understands it. What they don't realize is our own country's never dealt with it because they've never given Métis the recognition of being rights-bearing, and now they have no choice. Canada lost the decision, and at the end of the day, it's very clear that the Daniel's decision made sure that Canada has a fiduciary responsibility to do with the Métis when it comes to health, education, all the rest of it. It's kind of loud where I am, and sorry, I apologize for that. I'm in a restaurant, and I don't want to make sure I'm doing Mr. Métis or it's too far to run back to my room. So I also met with Liberal MPs, and I had a chance to dialogue with them on this whole identity issue and the treaty that's coming. So those are very important components. When I walked in the reception of this restaurant, is it less noisy here, Naomi?
Mm-hmm.
You hear your background here?
A little bit, but we can still hear you.
Okay, good. I just wanted people to say, what the hell's going on over there? But anyway, I met senators, I met leaders, I met Liberal leaders, I met Conservative leaders. So I'm pushing hard to make sure that people understand this treaty should not be confused with the treaty that is being debated right now and strongly opposed by First Nations of Ontario, First Nations of Canada, and also strongly opposed by the MMF against these keys that are trying to steal our identity. So, but I had a chance, because lucky enough that, of course, Mulroney was laying in state in Ottawa. So I stood there for 2.5 hours and got my chance to go in there and give our condolences to their family. I spoke to Amila, I spoke to their sons, and I had a chance to express how it was so important for us when Mulroney came and met with us in 1991, and I was sitting at the table listening to this, and then I heard their words come out of him that he recognized the Red River Métis. And it was very clear, we were very proud that he said, I recognize the Métis Nation. I recognize Louis Riel as a Red River leader, the Red River Métis. And following that, of course, he pushed it in Charlottetown. There was some good progress for us to be made where we fit into Canada. So it was obviously led by Mulroney because he created this passion towards us and was serious about understanding our challenges and why is it that we're treated the way we were. So we were included in Charlottetown, but Charlottetown, of course, did not pass. And the majority of the reason was because it was an issue of special consideration being given to Quebec, and that didn't fly in Canada. So that Charlottetown did die, but the Métis Nation Accord came from that and began to open a relationship with the government. But a lot of times it depends which government's in power, because if that government doesn't have respect for you or doesn't believe you or doesn't even know you, then you got a problem. So when you look at the issue, we did have a challenge when Harper was there. And, of course, we did not support Harper because he was being briefed and being guided by Thomas Flanagan, who was one of the most negative people and an author that wrote and was a witness for Canada against Riel. Yeah. He was a witness against our Métis people. He said, the Métis got all their land. And he claimed to be an historian, and our lawyers tore him apart in court, and he had to admit he was not an historian. And a lot of his facts were false. So, but there's the guy that was guiding the Prime Minister of Canada to fight against the Red River Métis. So he caused a lot of damage to us, and of course that hardship really was created between us and that conservative. It's not the same. People got to understand this. The Conservative Party of Mulroney is not the Conservative Party of today. That's a different. These are the reformers and conservatives who came together and created a new philosophy, a new ideology of the government. So, but it's not the government of Joe Clark and Kim Campbell or Mulroney. So, but what you look at clearly at the end of the day is that, I had the pleasure and the honor of going there. For example, people in First Nations will notice too, when Mulroney was the Prime Minister of Canada, he created the Aboriginal Economic Engine for many. He created Louis Riel Institute. Louis Riel Capital Corporation is one of the founding concepts behind this economic trust by Riel. And so today, the Louis Riel Capital Corporation has helped thousands of people and created and spent and invested in millions and millions and tens of millions, hundreds of millions, and developed the economic engine for our Métis people in the West. So, again, that idea and that support came from negotiation between the Red River and Mulroney. So we owe him a lot, and he respected us, and I told that to his wife. And so when your husband came, I was sitting at that table. When he looked at us, and he said he respects the Métis Nation of Red River and respects Louis Riel. That was it for us. We saw somebody coming finally to recognize and support us and really understand who we were. So, of course, our support went to Maloney, and my respect for him has lived on and still is there today. So, again, on behalf of our government, I was lucky enough to go to the Parliament. It's not the Parliament anymore, but it's their Senate building. It used to be a Senate meeting where it took place, and I was there happy to be able to go there and represent our government. Also want to thank Premier Wab Kinew and again his government on recognizing an apology to Eddie Ambrose and Richard Bouvet. So when people ask who is those, well, that's the two kids 69 years ago that were mixed and given to different people, different families. Richard was given to a Métis family, he's Ukrainian. Eddie was a Métis, he was given away to the Ukrainian family, and Richard was given to the Métis family. So it's a complete opposite of cultures, raised completely opposite from where they come from, who they are.
Yeah.
So when you look at that history, it's quite sad when you look at all of that. And then now they're 69 and they're struggling to find their own cultures. Eddie, for example, was at our office, and I tell you, when I gave him the citizenship card, he wouldn't let go of it, and he was so proud, he started crying. But he's finally coming home and meeting his biological family, and he still has good words for the adopted family, but at the end of the day, you know, he knows what was taken from him, and it really has a long-term effect with him, and same thing with Richard. So they've got some time. And Richard, I haven't spoken to him personally, but he was raised in Métis for 69 years, and so he can never vote in our elections. He can never, you know, participate in political groups, but he can always be call us part of his home, because we'll never abandon him if he wants to come and speak to us and talk to us and ask us for any kind of guidance and support. I'm definitely willing to do that. So, again, I'm very proud of these two individuals. As they sat inside the Legislative Assembly, and I was watching it on the news when Wab Kinew made the apology on behalf of the Manitoba. And they're finally going to do something which I was hoping they would come to reality, is to give them a financial settlement. What that looks like, we don't know. But at the end of the day, hopefully it'll justify some opportunity for Eddie to do something for his family, do something with his two siblings and his previous siblings he gets along with, and leave some of his legacy behind that was stolen from him. So again, kudos to you, both Eddie and Richard, finding your way home, each of your cultures and families. And for, again, the NDP government, I thank them for, and Wab Kinew, of course, to thank them for doing the right thing. And again, promising they're going to settle financially with them. So I also want to congratulate Anita Campbell on her appointment to the provincial government matriarch circle, which is being established by the Minister, Naomi Fontaine. And she's getting together leaders of the women movement that's really pushing their agenda of respect. But more or less, the respect is always automatic in our culture, in Métis culture. Women are always respected and should always be respected no matter what, whether they're politicians or not politicians. But at the end of the day, when you look at it, a lot has been taken from, unfortunately, the sad situation of many of the women that found themselves suffering after what is the effects of the institutions that government forced upon them, and later on in life couldn't really take the pain mentally, psychologically, and some of them turned to alcohol and drugs to avoid the pain, the hardships, and really the painful memories that they had, and it had an effect on their own children, had an effect on them, and then on top of that, then you got predators coming along, even making it worse, and many have disappeared, and some are still cold cases, and that's why we at the Federation and put $1 million aside to assist with missing and murdered Indigenous women, but also for boys and men. So we're looking at making very clear that $1 million is there, and we're going to keep on putting up posters. But I said to the people in billboards, I said, but it's not that simple. You got to get to a private land or crown land. You got to sit down with the municipality. You got to get your permits, and on top of it, you got to sit down with the police, because once you put up a billboard and put $10,000 reward, you get a lot of calls right away about potential something they saw, something they heard,
right,
and then could lead to a $10,000 reward. So we have to work with the police on it. But again, that's what the Métis government said was so important, and of course that's being led by Anita, Jelida, and Francis on this file. And I look forward to doing our part to keep on helping find these missing and murdered Indigenous women and boys, and let's bring bring them home. Really bring them home. That's what our program is actually called. We need to bring them home. So
Yeah.
we also have something quite popular that's coming back. And we have nominations that are open for inaugural Red River Métis Business Excellence Awards. Now, what's so important about it is that we have registered at L'Oreal Capital Corporation over 620 businesses, I think, so far. But I think there's about 1,000 Métis businesses in Manitoba. And so there's going to be a gala to truly recognize these entrepreneurs, these people that work so hard, that survived. A lot of them survived through COVID. Many did not survive, and not just Métis people, non-Métis people did not survive. COVID, really destroyed many businesses, took away opportunities towards the future. So now this gala will actually, tickets go on sale. The gala will be on May 30th. They go on sale in April. But there's different categories. You can actually, as a business, you can contact the Federation through the, what's their new name? They got Red River, something it's called, Red River Métis Individuals. I'm trying to find this name. No, they didn't put it here. It used to be called Métis Economic Development Fund. Now it's called the Red River Métis Fund, I think, or Métis Business Fund, something of that nature. Anyway, but there's categories: traditional economies, young entrepreneurs, sustainable economy, and 70 women, secretary, spokesman award, and President's Lifetime Achievement Award. So you can nominate somebody. You have a chance to nominate them in April. What's the date? It's not in here. And you have a chance to nominate. Send your nomination into whoever make the economic portion of the Federation section, and they'll put your award recommendation forward. And I'll be there personally. I want to be seeing the businesses because there's so many and I'm so proud of them. Also, a MET clients from April, they're looking, MET is maybe an employment training program. Now, that's the program that John Curry is the minister of, and this has helped tens of thousands of Métis. Now, this program is still one of the best in Canada, and we happen to be recorded as one of the best governments running it, in the sense we created more jobs, more returns for an investment than anyone else in Canada. And what I'm very proud to say is that they're actually putting together a success story, and you can win cash. You have from April 1st, 2023 to March 31, 2024. If you're one of the clients and we want to hear your success story, what did you take? What course did you take? Did you start a business? Did you go back to school? Did you get a degree? Are you working now? So all eligible entries will receive an appreciation bonus and a chance to win one of 3 grand prizes of $500 each. And check on the social website. Check our website. You'll see it at the mmf.md.ca. And then call home office and speak to the MET department. So you're one of the students out there that actually had a chance to be, graduate and are now very successful. Maybe you got your job, you took the first-time home buyer program, you bought a house already. Just showing your success of how hard you work to get where you are. And we just want to make sure we recognize these students, I'll call them, who have made a big difference and making a big difference in the future. So, again, saying all that, I'll say hello back home to all the elders and, again, thank them for all their guidance and support. And to our young population, you see why your presidents fight so hard on this identity theft. I'm very, very worried about it. I'm thinking that, if we don't stop them now, who's going to stop them at all? So I think it's going to be important that we work hard and we do everything we can to stop these guys before they take away, the future resources of our people by stealing our identities. So that's like I was watching the news on APTN through the TikTok, I think, or some damn thing. I'm not too familiar with these sites, but I've seen Daryl is one of the professors, LaRouche, I think his name is, and he was talking about these people in eastern Canada, way down to the east coast, Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, that whole area. And there they were carrying our Métis flags, flying around saying they're Métis. They've always been Métis, they're first Métis in this country because they have mixed blood. But they're carrying our flags, fighting for rights, fighting for shared resources. It just scares you to think about that. And as I said, there's a lot of people speaking on that today, but that was quite a surprise for me to see that again. You think that they paid away, they lost every court case, but they're not. They're still fighting hard, and they want to share. And Canada's going to start looking at making a mistake, I think, in the future where they might give I'm not against urban organization. I support them. They do. Friendship Center, for example, do a good job. and there's so many other smaller ones that make a difference in people's lives. But what's important to recognize is when they start to say we represent the Métis, regular Métis people, we represent the First Nation, we represent this. When they don't, they're a service group. That's why we have governments for. Our governments are there to be responsible and ensure that these people are getting their due, and they're not going to be cheated by government or by lawyers or by consultants. Mm-hmm. And next thing you find out, they were used as a tool for government to advance its own internal policy. But by deadline, by the way, is April 2nd for getting your name to recognize business that you want to recommend to be honored in one of those positions. Go to mmf.md.ca. April 2nd is the deadline to get your nomination in. So with that being said, Naomi, I'll talk to you guys next Saturday, and I should still, I'm here for altogether 8 days. Okay. I should still be here next Saturday, and tell you some of the sites I saw and where I took my baby, and I tell you, she didn't sleep for a week before we got here. She was just so, I'm telling you, every day she said, well, I can't wait, Papa, I can't wait. So she's been waiting since she was 12. So I promised this when she was 12 years old, so I'm very, very proud of her. So anyway, she's doing excellent in school, and I thank all the families out there that always take care of their kids and help them have a better life. And that's what the Métis government's all about. So take care, everybody.
You got to take her to the Arc de Triomphe, too, and make sure you go on top of the Arc.
What's that?
You have to take her on top of the Arc de Triomphe, too.
What the hell's that?
Just look it up. I'll send it to you in a text.
Text it to me. I wouldn't even know how to spell it. Send it to me.
It is amazing. You get a bird's eye view of the city and the most confusing roundabout you've ever seen. So I'll send it to you.
One of the things I'm going to take it for sure, as you know me, and no matter where I travel, I stop at a church and pray for my little Red River Nation.
Yeah.
And I will go to. I know the damn church is still being worked on.
Yeah.
But I understand it might be open. I'm going to go there. If not, I'll find another church and we'll pray.
Yeah.
And I'll go pray for my people. So, and pray for those that are sick and hungry. And I pray for Ukraine. I pray for Palestine, for innocent kids that are dying out there. Mm-hmm. And also pray for Israel, the ones that lost, innocent people lost their lives there too. So, but at the end of the day, it's so wrong to see what's happening to so many innocent people. And we got to keep on doing our part to protect our children and protect other children, including women, and those are the most vulnerable sometimes in society. So, anyways, that's why I do my prayers when I go to these churches. So, I'll tell you where I've been next Saturday before I get to chat with you again.
Okay. Take care.
Okay.
Bye.
Take care. Okay. Bye-bye.